Alright guys, I could make individual videos on certain things that could happen in week 17 for the NFL, talk about playoff berths, talk about who I want to see at number 1, number 2 seeds, but let's just do a quick overview of all the games for week 17. Let's start with the Vikings and Lions. This game doesn't really mean anything as far as the playoffs. It's more about the effect that the Lions will have now that they are entering their last game of the season. It's all about draft standings. So this game doesn't matter. Falcons and Buccaneers. I want to see if this is the last game Matt Ryan and Julio Jones ever played together or in Atlanta. They could be. I've heard rumors that you could see them both in New England, which would be very interesting. But yeah, this could be a historic final game for the Atlanta Falcons where they will not have Matt Ryan next season. They will not have Julio Jones next season, or who knows? They could be back next season and all the hype would have been for nothing. Also, how are the Buccaneers going to finish out? Where do they finish in the playoff standings? This is a big game for them, but the Falcons have been playing really hard. I'm interested to see who wins that game. The Jets are done tanking. They're really trying to work their way up in the final standings for some reason. Adam Gase has been reported that he's going to be the New England Patriots quarterbacks coach. So I'm interested to see what happens in this game. Do the Jets win this? Do the Patriots tank to improve their draft positioning? Are we going to see Cam, Jarrett Stidham? How much playing time do each get? I don't know. That's going to be very interesting. And a battle between a possible playoff preview. The Dolphins versus the Bills. Two surprising teams that nobody saw coming. We kind of saw the Bills coming, but we didn't think they'd be this good. This is going to be the game of the week, in my opinion. Then you have the Steelers and the Browns. Another game that could be the game of the week, but I'm still going to go with the Bills and the Dolphins because they're still playing for something. The Bills are fighting for playoff seeding and the Dolphins are playing for their playoff lives. I think this is a really good game to watch. Steelers and Browns. This would have been the battle for the AFC North, but the Browns lost last week to the Jets. So now the Browns are fighting to win so they can stay in the playoffs. Do the Steelers rest? Or do they knock out the Browns possibly if the Colts win their game and kick them out of the playoffs? I want the Browns to win so bad so they can go to the playoffs. Come on, Cleveland. Cowboys and Giants. Cowboys are playing for the NFC East. If they win and the Washington football team loses, they win the division. Crazy enough. We might see Andy Dalton in the playoffs. Ravens and Bengals. The Ravens need to win to stay in. That's interesting. Jaguars, Colts. Jaguars, they don't lose, are 100% getting the number 1 draft pick. The Colts, if they lose, will stay out of the playoffs because they are still in the bubble. So if they lose, that bubble bursts. I don't see the Colts losing this game. I think if the Colts win this game and the Titans lose, they win the division. This is a huge, critical game for the Colts. Titans-Texans. The Texans were just chewed out by J.J. Watt in the media. Not necessarily, but they're going to be playing inspired. I already predicted that the Titans are going to lose this game because the Texans are going to win this last game to prove that they still have some fight. And the Titans will lose, and they will lose the AFC South because I don't see them winning. If they do, they keep the AFC South. The Colts need a lot of help to get into the playoffs. Cardinals-Rams. Cardinals are in the bubble. The Rams, I think, have secured a playoff position, playoff seed, so they're just fighting for position. A big game for the Cardinals tomorrow. Saints-Panthers. The Saints need a lot of things to go right so they can get the number 1 seed. So they have to win this game. Pay attention to that one. Packers-Bears. The Packers, if they win, they keep the number 1 playoff spot, I believe. They have to win this one. The Bears, if they win, they are also guaranteed a playoff spot. So both of these two teams still have a lot to play for. This is going to be an interesting game too. Chargers-Chiefs, not much going here. The Chiefs can probably rest and call it a day. Seahawks-49ers, the Seahawks need to win. I think they could still get the number 1 playoff seed. A lot of things need to go right. If not, I think they secure the 2nd seed if they win. Raiders-Broncos, this one, they're not playing for anything. Washington football team, Philadelphia Eagles. The Washington football team lead the NFC East.